Hi, I'm Glenn Tinley with Marketplace Magazine. I am here sitting inside what is a pretty spectacular 6-passenger private aircraft, and we're having a chat here with Marc from MBE Jets. Welcome to Winnipeg.
Thank you so much. Nice to be here.
You just flew in this morning, which is a kind of a nice treat.
You just pick a time you want to go and you come straight here.
Yeah, wasn't that great? And you came into some nice weather, which is it's been cold and
beautiful today.
Now it's warming up.
Today.
So you're here introducing your company and this plane, which we're gonna speak a little bit about, to some potential customers here in Winnipeg. Tell us a little bit about your company and sort of what you're doing here in Winnipeg.
Absolutely. Well, MBE Jets is a private fractional ownership. So the difference where we're unique is we buy aircraft and we sell them off to private partners, so businesses or individuals, and they're the only ones who use the aircraft. We don't rent the aircraft out, we don't charter. They have the pride of ownership of having the aircraft. Our model is very straightforward. Most people have the benefit. They like the idea of a private jet. They've experienced it. Mm-hmm. But, the thought of having your whole jet sitting there with a crew and not flying all the time,
right?
It's kind of like a timeshare.
Yeah.
It works really, really well, keeps the costs low, and makes it extremely affordable.
How many partners would you bring in? I mean, fractionals are usually an eighth or a quarter or a half in that type of a division. What have you found to be in Calgary, which is where you guys are based out of, and now coming here to Winnipeg? Where have you found to be sort of where most people are settling in?
Most people are settling in about 4 or 5 partners per aircraft.
Okay.
They find that for their flying, it's exactly the amount that they need. We typically look at these aircraft doing 350, 400 hours a year, and that seems to be working out for them for the math.
And the use of the jet. So if I've got my share and I'm away with some of our executive team down in Toronto, and somebody else wants that plane, you've got another one to fill in, or how does that sort of fit in?
We, as we're growing the model, we have more and more jets. We have an interchange agreement.
Okay.
So every aircraft are virtually identical. So from the outside, you may not be on exactly the one that you got, but you'll be on an identical one.
Right. Nobody
can tell them apart. And we just get one to suit your time and your schedule, and we just interchange them.
Okay. So let's back up a little bit. Why are you sort of looking at coming into Winnipeg?
Well, it's interesting. I had been out here for business a number of times and chatted with people about the business I'm in, and they said, have you ever thought of Winnipeg? I mean, we're out here, we're in the middle of Canada. It's easy for us to get to the east, easy for us to get to the west, but we don't have that much in terms of flexibility for air travel.
Right.
And then when I asked them, what's it like to go to the United States? Well, then it becomes even more challenging. A lot of hub and spoke to get there, have to go to different cities. And the beauty of a private jet is, number one, you leave and you come back when you want to on your schedule. And number two is you go direct. So you don't have to go to Toronto or to Chicago or whatever. So the benefits for people to be able to have the flexibility and the time, and also to be able to get home, not spend a day traveling each way, but, leave in the morning, come home the same day sometimes, or at least take a day off their trip.
Yeah.
Time is the money.
And also being able to fly into smaller airports, like using Toronto as an example. A lot of Winnipeg people go back for Toronto, so instead of flying into Pearson, you can fly to the downtown airport, and then just you're right downtown, have your meetings, and you're back out.
People are absolutely surprised. In North America, just for round figures, there's almost 5,000 airports that we can get into.
Yeah.
Only 480 or 90 of them are serviced commercially. So you imagine there's another 4,500 airports that we can go directly to.
Yeah.
Just on the outskirts of cities and towns, and you avoid the big hubbub and the traffic. It gets you really point to point.
Well, and a lot of times businesses are not done right, by an airport or downtown, which means you're flying in the night, like you say, you're flying in the night before. Now you have additional hotel costs and car rental costs and everything that goes along with it, and time away from the office, from family, from those types of things.
Exactly.
So I have myself seen this growth in private ownership and fractional ownership, and I've been talking the same thing. I've been one of those people that have said, why isn't this in the city as of yet? And so we're glad to see you here, because I do think that there's a great opportunity. Where do you see the opportunity and maybe some pitfalls moving forward with the North American economy? I mean, the U.S. economy, we don't have to say it's not in great shape, and everybody knows that. In Canada, we've been sort of sheltered against that, and especially Western Canada, Manitoba, Saskatchewan, Alberta have done, fairly well. But do you see that as an opportunity moving forward, or how do you see that kind of fitting into your business model?
We have a lot of opportunities. If you think about what's going on right now, you're absolutely right. The United States has got some challenges, and I think they're going to have challenges for a while, but I'm not going to speculate about economy. Canada, I think, overall is doing very well, and I think the need for our geography for private aircraft is imperative.
Yeah.
We have so many places we can go to. It's not serviced commercially properly. Going into the United States is going to be important for us because we do a lot of business down there. They're a major trading partner. But the benefits to their economy getting a little weaker is our dollar's gotten stronger. Now, aircraft are bought in U.S. dollars.
That's right.
I can tell you when I bought an aircraft back in 2004, the dollar was just under 70 cents. And that's a huge additional point to pay. Now we're virtually par.
Yeah.
So great opportunity for people to save 20, 30% just on the exchange portion.
Yeah, so that, which helps with your buying the fractional area, part of that is making a big difference.
Absolutely.
Tell us about this this aircraft and the ones that are in your sort of growing fleet.
Okay. The aircraft that we're sitting in is a Hawker Beechcraft Premier. It is a very unique aircraft. It is the first aircraft that came out that was carbon fiber body.
Okay.
Carbon fiber is the latest technology that's out there. It's been used in military aircraft for a long time because of its strength, durability, and very, very light. Hawker Beechcraft has been making carbon fiber aircraft going way back to the Beech jet, or the Beech Starship.
Okay.
And they've discontinued that aircraft, but it was a learning process. The markets clearly are all going there. Every other market has announced that they're going to be moving to that, and we've heard that the Dreamliner from Boeing, the 787, all carbon fiber.
Yeah.
You get fuel efficiency, you get speed, you get size and volume. You get unbelievable strength, and it's lighter than metal. So you also don't have metal fatigue and other things like that. So durability long term is going to be good, which means value retention of the aircraft is going to be good.
Right.
We're in an industry that's really now shaping into an entirely new industry. So I held off on buying the other aircraft, and there's some beautiful aircraft out there. Cessna has a Citation family, which is a series of older aircraft built up to new.
Yeah.
You have Embraer, who's getting into it, and they're a force to be reckoned with as an airplane manufacturer, but building metal aircraft.
Okay.
So my thinking is that the world is going to go this way, kind of like we went to airbags and ABS brakes and modern technology. And it's shown in the speed of this aircraft. People talk about Learjets being fast.
Yeah.
This is as fast or faster than a Learjet, but
Okay.
much bigger inside.
And we were talking about just the quiet level, the quietness of the cabin,
Absolutely.
and whether that's and the way that they were able to design it.
Yeah, the design and the shape, you can shape things really in nice compound curves, which you can't do so much with metal. So that's why we have that kind of that divot, what I call it, by the engines, where the airflow goes smoothly by. So it reduces your noise level inside, where the air is pushing between the fuselage and the engines. And it makes the aircraft more slippery, so much quicker and saves on fuel.
Yeah. Okay. So where do you see this? I mean, obviously you want to get some growth in the city and have a jet sort of parked here all the time. Is that, where do we see this in 3-6 months?
The feedback that we've been getting just in the last week or two here as we sort of announced that we're going to come out has been spectacular. It seems that there's nobody in the market here serving this kind of niche with a new aircraft with this kind of efficiency and cost model, which is very, very low. So we see, quite frankly, parking 2 to 3 jets here over the course of the next year and having this as a central hub for us, connecting east and west.
Okay. So then we talked a little bit, I just want to touch on the value of jets, because people will look at a fractional and say, well, if I buy that, and where's that going to go? And you talked about the holding their value. But these jets almost tend to, there's lots of cases where they almost rise in value over the term, depending on the
Some of them do. I never go out and try and have a crystal ball, because last year nothing went up in value because of obviously the global recession, and there were a lot of jets that went onto the market. But we believe in buying brand new jets because there aren't any used ones of this caliber out there. They're completely covered by warranty from nose to tail, which eliminates any of the cost issues not being controlled. We see this type of fuel-efficient and very fast jet as being sought after. So regardless of where the market ends up going economically, we always feel that our aircraft will be at the top of that market. So I won't sit here and speculate what will it be worth in 5 years, but I will tell you for sure that it'll be the most valuable jet out there because it'll have the lowest time, only operated for owners, and the newest technology.
Right.
So in my mind, it's assured to be at the top of the curve.
And then on a go forward basis, I mean, just being able to have people to have the access here in the city and do business elsewhere, which is becoming more of an export type of market, which means doing business outside. It's nice to have that option here as opposed to the commercial side of stuff.
Well, absolutely. I still have to occasionally fly commercial. And it's brutal. It's, with all of the security and the amount of time you have to get ahead of time. I mean, you really take it for granted when you can walk on and not worry about what's in your bag, whether you have liquids or a bottle or clippers or a Swiss Army knife or whatever. You can sit down and talk. You know who's on the aircraft. So safety and security are first and foremost with us. The benefits are enormous. And we say that the biggest thing that, the aircraft is a convenience, but we're giving you something that you can't buy, and that's your own time.
Yeah. You talked a little bit about safety. Safety for an executive is of utmost important because for two reasons. One, obviously for family, if they're going to bring the family on board, or if it's just going to be a bit for business use. But in some cases, you've got a president, a vice president, and a senior executive line of an entire company on this jet. So the safety of it being new and having all the newest technology is a huge advantage for you. But just safety being the key thing there.
Well, the safety, the quality and how comfortable you feel is paramount. It's all the emotional about how we are. It's it's nice, it's brand new, it smells rich, there's the leather, there's the wood, there's the wool. But safety is also what's in the front. And that is the two pilots that are flying and all the technology that they have at their disposition.
Right.
And the key thing is you can have tremendous technology, but our model is very unique in the sense that we only hire very high-time senior captains, where most companies tend to hire the younger captains, so they build up time because they want to jump to the airline. We're actually looking for the seasoned veterans that have been at the airline, and they're a little tired of doing the city-to-city same hop over and over again. They'd like to fly one of these aircraft. They'd like to look after the people that are on board, and they have 15, 20, 25,000 hours. And this is where they want to spend the rest of their career. So from a safety perspective, I say it's like having, the pilots of Air Force One in the front.
Yeah, that's what it seems like, which is like that's I talk to a lot of people, and that's one of the biggest things that first thing they mention is, what about the safety? If I'm going to put my family, or if I'm putting my senior exec team on there, I want to know that the people on who are in charge of this thing are experienced, and you guys have obviously taken care of that.
Exactly.
Well, I'll tell you, it's been a real pleasure having a chat with you, and good luck in the Winnipeg market. I think you guys are going to do fantastic. I've been talking to people for years about this. I think the opportunity is there because you talk to a lot of people in business who, through growth, through globalization, through just time factors, everything's getting faster, and they want to be able to get in and out of centers and do business. So I think the market is ready for it. So I think it's good timing for you guys to be in the market.
I hope so. It seems to be great so far, and thanks so much for giving us the opportunity to chat with you today.
Oh, you're very welcome. It's been great having you.
All right, thanks so much.
I am Glenn Tinley with Marketplace Magazine, and if you are looking for information about MBE Jets, you can visit Marketplace Magazine on the website, or go to the website for MBE Jets, mbejets.com, and you'll be able to get all the information you need right there. Thanks, and see you again soon.